Are the Miami Dolphins paying too much for quarterback Tua Tagovailoa? Well, let's talk about that for a minute. So they agreed to a new contract extension today, which was 4 years, $212.4 million with 167.1 million guaranteed on this new 4 year contract extension for Tua. Now, at 53.1 million a year for the next 4 years. It's the largest 4 year contract extension in NFL history. Comparing it those of like the Jared Goff contract extension, the Jalen Hurts contract extension at 51 mil, which is what Jalen Hurts is at now, and the Jared Goff contract extension as well. Is it too much, knowing that you haven't seen too much playoff success in Miami since Tua's been there? He's been injury prone. Now, he has led the NFL in passing yards. He led the NFL in pass yards per attempt last year, and then passer rating as well. And he was also fifth in touchdowns of 54 over the last couple of seasons as well. Last 2 seasons, he's at 54 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons. We had this career high at 29 touchdowns this past fall for the Miami Dolphins. With one playoff appearance in the 4 years that Tua has been there. He played 10 games in his first year, 13 games in his second year, 13 in his third year, and he played all 17 for his fourth year in Miami, and now getting that 4 year contract extension. Just again makes you wonder if is it too much? Is Miami? I mean, obviously, if you're Miami, you got to look at this and go, okay, like this is. I mean, obviously, they paid the guy. So this is their commitment. They had to make that commitment at some point. You can't continue to keep just dragging this out into the abyss, basically down in Miami, of what's next for the Dolphins. So puts a lot of pressure on the front office of the Miami Dolphins to make that commitment to Tua. So again, like I mentioned, he is in the last 2 years, Tua has led the NFL in passing yards per attempt. Passing yards per attempt to passer rating, again, fifth in touchdowns. He had 29 career touchdowns last year, 4,600 yards, which was first in the NFL in 2023. But again, props to Miami. Give them the front office. Give the front office props for wanting to show that commitment. It does put a lot of pressure on them. Puts a lot of pressure on Tua. Puts a lot of pressure on that. But you have another guy there in Miami who wants money, and that's Tyreek Hill. You paid Jalen Waddle. You paid Tua. Are you going to pay Tyreek Hill? You're just going to let him go now. There's a lot going on in Miami, as always. And you got a team that should be and could be very successful in the Dolphins in the AFC East. So obviously, you're going to have to compete against Patrick Mahomes. You're going to have to compete against CJ Stroud and, the likes of Joe Burrow in Cincinnati to even get a chance to get to the Super Bowl. You're going to have to at least you're going to run into one of those guys at some point in time. So, it's tough to look at that and be like, hey, like our commitment is here. This is where it's going to be at. It's in Tua, it's in Jalen. And what else can we do to bring in things here in Miami to help things get where they want? Obviously, championship Super Bowls are what you want. That's the goal every year for every NFL team. But you look at this; this puts Tua up at at the higher quarterback paid. One of the highest quarterbacks paid in the market right now, up there with the likes of Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow. Is it going to be worth it for Miami to be able to do this? So that's where my thoughts are with things. Is it maybe this is it's hard though, because again, the way the NFL is working now. Obviously, you're going to have to pay these guys what they want. Now they're going to go. They're going to leave. They're going to find somebody who is going to pay them the type of money they want, they feel like they deserve, and they feel like they should have going into the season. So, but let us know. Hey, let us know what you think. Is this too much? Is this too much for Tua? Is it not enough for Tua? Should he be paid more, paid less, or you think this is a good amount for Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins? As always, make sure you hit like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you on the next quick hitter.